Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the day of the video diary. How's it going today? Today it is Friday. It's my last day of being unemployed before I start my new job on Monday. And what have I been doing so far today? I woke up, I had like a slow start this morning. I tried to delay having breakfast as much as possible so that I wouldn't snack on biscuits and things. Like when you're at work and stuff, you get hungry earlier, but you don't eat because you haven't got food. When you're here, it's like, it hits 10 o'clock and you're like, oh, I might have a bit of a snack. And then 11 o'clock, oh, I might have a bit of a snack. Stop fucking eating shit, Jamie. I had a late breakfast and had a late shower and all that kind of good stuff. Got ready, and while all this has been going on, I've been thinking of names still. And I believe I've decided on a name. I'm not jumping in yet because I'm like letting it sit in my mind and working on it. Naming companies is actually quite difficult. It's quite easy to name products, I think. They're a lot simpler. Like, I've named two things I want to make quite easily. Relatively easy. I guess one of them took me a year and a half to think of, but I wasn't actively trying to think about it. Then yesterday I kind of thought of one accidentally. But thinking of a company name is a lot more difficult because as a technology company that wants to do technology things and online stuff, I want it to be like hip. You know, like Slack and Trello are interesting names. They're not corporate names. But also, the company is going to be mostly pitching to other businesses. So it also has to sound like responsible and stuff. And I thought yesterday I had two names that I was like playing with. One Laura came up with, which was, well, I'm not going to use it, Pliant. Pliant, which sounds far too corporate. It sounds like it was made 30 years ago by a big business somewhere. It doesn't sound like a startup made by little old me. And then another one that I liked, which I couldn't have, because it's only taken, was Brolly. Like umbrella, but Brolly, because it was an umbrella in which I was going to be releasing all of my... I thought that was good, but I thought that was also a little bit... While I liked it, it wasn't respectable. I don't know. It doesn't sound like when I'm pitching to other companies, they also wouldn't know what I'm doing or all that kind of stuff. So I thought of another idea now, which kind of sits in the middle. It's probably more to the business side than the thingy side, but I've thought about it. And I've been going over this morning trying to figure out exactly what it is that I need to set up when I do it. Obviously I need to buy the domain names. I'm going to buy the domain name for this project as well, my final year project, which is finally going to be named as well. I've thought of the name of that for ages, I just haven't bought the web page because I wanted to do it at the same time. I need to think about setting up company email accounts, at which point I don't know whether to set up email accounts either through something like Google Work or Office 365, or doing them just through my hosting company, because I don't need Office 365 or things like that. Technically it is cheaper as well to go through my hosting provider, but I feel like obviously Google and Office are a bit better, so it's a bit more expensive. I think it'd be, because I need two email accounts obviously. It works out at like £6 versus, it's about double the price thingy per month, unless I set up my own. Don't talk about that. I don't think it's possible to set up your own email server in Azure, otherwise I'd do it. But yeah, so I've got to think about that. I looked into the complexities of registering a business and whether it's worth registering it as a sole trader, or I can't register it as a limited, but I think it might make sense to register it as sole trader. I think. I don't know. So there's that. I'm thinking about, obviously I've got to grab the like Twitter and Facebook things, although I'm probably not gonna turn them into a... I have no intention of kind of doing what I did with Blitz Software back in the day, where I created a page and was updating things on there. I don't really intend to do that. I just intend to like siphon it off and keep it secure just in case. I need to think about Visual Studio Online accounts and GitHub accounts, which the GitHub one is the one that I think matters the most, because one of the things I want to make, I'm thinking about producing as, I'm doing lots of research about this now, as like open source-esque. And that's kind of the advantage of doing this umbrella thing, that I can have, the company can have an open source GitHub stuff, where some stuff could be private, some stuff could be whatever, and then like I now act as a developer underneath the umbrella rather than me as a developer having my own page and stuff. It gets a bit more complicated. So they're the things I'm thinking about. Visual Studio Online as well, because obviously that's how I do my development stuff. For new, yeah, I've got more things to look into, mainly around the world of open sourcing stuff and how to register like emails, the best way of going about that basically, and or registering as a sole trader or not. I want to register the company in some way, but the process of doing that is obviously a lot harder than buying a website. So does it mean I don't have to register for company tax, corporation tax, until I start trading, in theory? But I don't know the logistics of all this kind of stuff, which is why I'm basically spending today on Google. So it's good fun. But either way, it's 1 o'clock, it's lunchtime. But yeah, so that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Lunchtime. And then I'm going to watch some TV and take my laptop in there and do some Googling once I've finished my sandwiches. So I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier, but I've also gone through and created like a spreadsheet. Wait, fucking love me some spreadsheets, boys. Which in short is keeping track of finances and stuff. I logged onto my banking and saw like a load of things that were going out, and I'm like, what are all these things that are going out? So I went through and was like, okay, so this is how much I pay for hosting stuff, this is how much I pay for Netflix, go down the list, this is how much I'm being paid, calculated tax off of it, and all that kind of stuff. So I know my monthly income, how much I pay to the joint account, how much my bills are going out, and therefore know my expendable income every month. I know the same for the joint account. And that way I now know how much money I have spare every single month to play with. Bearing in mind that within the budget of bills, I'm including a £200 a month bill for my savings because of their Help to Buy ISA, which is capped at £200 a month. But you see, the thing is, the expendable income figure is too high. I can't see me spending that. So, but I can only put £200 a month into my savings. I don't think you can have two ISAs. So I don't know where to put the other money. Anyway, one thing I'm good at, it's living within my means. And saving money and hoarding it, being a little tight bastard, basically. Otherwise though, my plan of attack then for this afternoon is to look into this. I'm also going to go through my work stuff, make sure I've got everything ready and put it basically in my bag so that on Monday morning I'm ready to go to work and I don't need to worry about whether I've done stuff or not. I'm going to make sure I've got all my forms and they're all correctly filled in, etc, etc. I've signed my contracts, etc, etc. Like a good boy. Everything is all sorted and I've just been investigating everything that I think I need. I think I've got everything boxed up into what it's going to cost me and all that kind of stuff, and I'm now just investigating things like how best to manage multiple websites that I haven't even built yet, so it's investigation work. How to manage 2 different Visual Studio Onlines where I want to migrate one Visual Studio project team thing onto another one. And all this kind of stuff, and I'm just kind of investigating how it's possible and whatnot. I also want to figure out how easy it is to set up a Git repository, link it with Team Foundation server, and yet still have GitHub stuff. I want basically like open source GitHub, but I want like my deployment stuff with Team Foundation server. So, lots of things to look into, man. Lots and lots of things. And it's bedtime, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, grief. Oh, grief. what was the last thing I said? What I've discovered is it seems to be relatively complicated / maybe not possible to have a public GitHub repository within inside Team Foundation's server. Although I didn't look, like Laura came back, so I stopped looking after a while. So the things left to understand and like figure out is that, and a business address, both of which aren't like huge. Obviously one doesn't stop me doing the other, or whatever, but that's what I'm just trying to figure out. It's expensive, basically, to have somewhere just to send posts to, man. It's not expensive, but it's like pricey. It's the most expensive thing I'll be paying for out of everything. And it seems like the least, and then I've also got to look into like the legal things that you have to do if you register a company as whatever or whatever. So there's that too. This afternoon, once I got back, we had dinner. I spent a bit of time googling that and discovering how expensive things like that were. Apparently you can use PO boxes, but I mean, I thought like a PO box you can get like virtual offices and all that kind of stuff, but they're getting pricey. It's like, well, £30 a month for something that's kind of, it's just an administrative cost. It's not something I'll use. That's what hurts most about it, I think. But yeah, so that's fun. Otherwise, we watched Life on Mars and then an episode of Mum, which is really good. Now we're heading off to bed. Also, had Graham out, and Graham did that thing where she like freaks out and jumps on you. So I was like, put your bag before you freak out again and go flying. On the cards tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading on into town to do some shopping. Laura wants to go shopping. I don't think I need anything in my little life, but I'm going down anyway. What I do want is a Cornish pasty, because I've been craving one for a long time. I haven't had one in ages, actually, so that is my plan. Lol. Otherwise, finding time to Google things, maybe start setting things up. Like I say, like what I'm going with here is all relatively behind the scenes in the sense of this. Like, I'm not going to tell you what the company name is, because I don't want it to be not affiliated with this, but like you'll probably be able to find it through things like my website and all that kind of stuff. You'll be able to find it quite easily, but I'm not going to publicly advertise it at any point because it's not designed for that. It's a business to business company, not a thingy one. It's all for umbrella things. You'll see it eventually, but like while I'm going to set it up a Facebook page and a Twitter page, they're going to be unused essentially. So it's going to be a long time coming as well, which is why I'm not telling you about it. The things that may come out are this thing that I'm making, a blogging thing that I'm making, and my actual project. They'll name them when they get released. But yeah, so otherwise just imagine things are going on. It's kind of irrelevant for your basis for now. But yeah, I'm gonna head to bed. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'll catch you later.